The United States and China have a complicated relationship. They compete with each other in many areas. These areas include trade, technology, and military power, but they also cooperate on some issues. These issues include climate change and global health. The relationship is important for the whole world. The US has been the world's most powerful country for many years. China is catching up quickly. This has created tension between the two countries. They both want to be the leader in the world. The US and China are economically dependent on each other. They trade a lot of goods and services. This makes it difficult for them to completely separate from each other. The future of the relationship is uncertain. It could get better or worse. It depends on how the two countries choose to interact with each other. Over the past few decades, China has experienced unprecedented growth and transformation. From a largely agrarian society, it has evolved into a global economic powerhouse. Today, China stands as the world's second-largest economy, trailing only behind the United States. Its rapid industrialization and modernization have been nothing short of extraordinary. This remarkable growth has significantly altered the global balance of power, positioning China as a formidable player on the international stage. China's influence now extends far beyond its borders, making it an essential participant in global affairs and international diplomacy. Several key factors have contributed to China's meteoric rise. One of the most significant is its vast and industrious population. With over 1.4 billion people, China boasts the largest population in the world, providing a massive workforce that drives its industries. This enormous population also creates a substantial domestic market, fueling demand for goods and services and spurring economic growth. The availability of a large, skilled workforce has been a crucial factor in attracting businesses and fostering innovation. Additionally, the burgeoning middle class has increased consumer spending, further boosting the economy. Another pivotal factor in China's rise has been its sweeping economic reforms. In the late 1970s, under the leadership of Deng Xiaoping, China began to open up its economy to the world, marking the start of a new era. These reforms allowed for foreign investment and trade, integrating China into the global economy. The result was rapid economic growth and urbanization, transforming the landscape of Chinese cities. However, China's rise has not been without its challenges. The country still grapples with issues such as poverty, inequality, and environmental degradation. Addressing these problems remains a significant task for the Chinese government as it continues to pursue development. Despite these challenges, China's economic transformation has been nothing short of remarkable, showcasing its resilience and ambition. Today, China stands as a major global power, with its influence felt in every corner of the world. The US and China have been engaged in a trade war in recent years. This conflict has had significant implications for both nations and the global economy. This has involved tariffs on each other's goods, affecting a wide range of industries from agriculture to technology. It has also involved accusations of unfair trade practices, with both sides claiming the other is not playing by the rules. The US has accused China of stealing intellectual property, a claim that has intensified the conflict. It has also accused China of manipulating its currency to give its exports an unfair advantage, further complicating trade relations. China has denied these accusations, stating that its trade practices are fair and in line with international standards. In response, China has retaliated with its own tariffs on US goods, targeting key American industries. The trade war has hurt both economies, leading to job losses and factory closures in some sectors. It has also disrupted global supply chains, causing delays and increased costs for businesses around the world. Businesses have faced uncertainty about the future, making it difficult to plan and invest. Consumers have seen prices rise on some goods, as companies pass on the costs of tariffs to customers. Despite the trade war, the US and China remain important trading partners, with deep economic ties that are hard to sever. They continue to trade billions of dollars worth of goods and services each year, highlighting the interdependence of their economies. However, the trade tensions have strained the relationship, making diplomatic negotiations more challenging. They have made it more difficult to cooperate on other issues such as climate change and global security, which require mutual trust and collaboration. The US and China are also competing in the field of technology. Both countries are investing heavily in research and development. They are trying to gain an edge in areas like artificial intelligence, 5G, and quantum computing. The technology competition has implications for economic and military power. The country that leads in technology will have a significant advantage in the 21st century. The US has accused China of stealing technology through espionage and forced technology transfer. It has also restricted Chinese companies from accessing sensitive US technology. China has denied these accusations. It has been investing in its own technological capabilities. The technology competition is likely to intensify in the coming years. It is a key area of strategic competition between the US and China. Section 5. Military concerns. The US and China are also competing militarily. This competition is not just about numbers but also about technological advancements and strategic positioning. China is rapidly modernizing its armed forces. This includes upgrading their equipment, training, and overall military capabilities to match or surpass those of other leading nations. It is developing advanced weapons systems. These include state-of-the-art missile systems, stealth fighter jets, and other cutting-edge technologies that could shift the balance of power. It is also increasing its military spending. Over the past decade, China's defense budget has seen a significant rise, reflecting its ambitions to become a dominant military force. The US remains the world's leading military power. With its vast network of bases, advanced technology, and experienced personnel, the US military is unmatched in many areas. However, China's growing military capabilities are challenging US dominance in the Asia-Pacific region. This region is strategically vital, and both nations are keen to assert their influence. This has raised concerns about the possibility of conflict. The increasing military presence and activities in the region have heightened tensions and the risk of misunderstandings. Taiwan is a major flashpoint in the US-China relationship. The island's strategic location and political status make it a potential trigger for military confrontation. China claims Taiwan as part of its territory. Beijing has repeatedly stated its intention to reunify Taiwan with the mainland, by force if necessary. The US has committed to helping Taiwan defend itself. This includes arms sales, military training, and other forms of support to ensure Taiwan can resist any potential aggression. Any military conflict over Taiwan would have severe consequences for both countries and the region. The economic, political, and human costs would be immense, affecting global stability. The South China Sea is another area of tension. This body of water is rich in resources and holds significant strategic importance for international trade routes. China has been building artificial islands and military installations in the South China Sea. These actions are seen as an attempt to assert control over the disputed waters. This has angered neighboring countries and the US, which sees it as a threat to freedom of navigation. The US conducts regular patrols to challenge China's claims and ensure open sea lanes. The US and China have been increasing their military activities in the region. Joint exercises, patrols, and other maneuvers are becoming more frequent, adding to the tension. This has led to a heightened risk of accidents or miscalculations that could escalate into a wider conflict. The proximity of military forces increases the chances of unintended incidents. Section 6. Talking and allying. The US and China engage in diplomatic talks to manage their relationship. However, these talks have often been tense and unproductive. There is a lack of trust between the two sides. The US has been strengthening its alliances with countries in the Asia-Pacific region. This is seen as a way to counter China's growing influence. The US has close ties with Japan, South Korea, Australia, and the Philippines. China is also strengthening its diplomatic and economic ties with countries around the world. It has been promoting its Belt and Road Initiative, which aims to build infrastructure and trade links across Asia, Africa, and Europe. The diplomatic competition between the US and China is playing out on a global stage. Both countries are trying to win over other countries to their side. Section 7. The 2024 factor. The 2024 US presidential election could have a significant impact on US-China relations. The outcome of the election will determine the future direction of US policy towards China. If a president who favors a more confrontational approach towards China is elected, it could lead to increased tensions and a higher risk of conflict. If a president who favors a more cooperative approach is elected, it could lead to a thawing of relations and more cooperation on issues of mutual interest. The 2024 election will be a crucial moment in the US-China relationship. It will shape the relationship for years to come. Section 8. Climate change. Climate change is one area where the US and China have the potential to cooperate. Both countries are major emitters of greenhouse gases, and they are both vulnerable to the impacts of climate change. In the past, there have been some efforts at cooperation on climate change. However, these efforts have been limited by mistrust and a lack of political will. There is a growing recognition that climate change is a global challenge that requires a global solution. The US and China, as the world's two largest economies and emitters, have a responsibility to lead the way. If the US and China can overcome their differences and work together on climate change, it would be a major step forward for global efforts to address this urgent issue. Section 9. The future. The future of the US-China relationship is uncertain. There are several possible scenarios. One scenario is that the relationship continues to deteriorate. This could lead to a new Cold War with increased military competition and a decoupling of the two economies. Another scenario is that the relationship stabilizes at a low level of trust and cooperation. In this scenario, the US and China would continue to compete in some areas, but they would also cooperate on issues of mutual interest, such as climate change and pandemics. A third scenario is that the relationship improves. This would require both sides to make significant efforts to rebuild trust and address their differences. The outcome of the US-China relationship will have a profound impact on the world. It will shape the